may not need to ask for key cards. Key cards may not help us. Key cards won't, they won't on this hand, right? If we ask for key cards and we find out that we're missing only one, theoretically that shouldn't keep us out of small slam, right? We typically only stay out of small slam if we're missing two. But if we're only missing one, so yeah, so hard to say. So sometimes, and I'm reminded of a hand that I picked up here a few months back, played on a Wednesday night here, and I thought about, put it this way, I thought about bidding the hand irresponsibly. And when I say that, I had a partner, I had a great hand and huge support. I think 6-card support for the major partner open. The problem was on this hand that I had 2 little spades or like Jack double ten or something like that. So I tried to start cue bidding. Because as I think we have talked about at some point in the past, or you've heard me say one way or another, not a good idea to go into Blackwood right away or key card when you have 2 quick losers and an unbid suit. So I thought it would be very careless. So I started a cue bidding sequence, and partner did not cue bid spades. So I was very afraid and correct that the defense, we had tricks all over the place after the defense cashed 2 spades. All right. So we stayed out of the slam, stopped at 5 hearts or whatever it was, or maybe we stopped at 4, made 5. The opponents led a spade away from the king, hit partner's ace, got the spade back, and cashed their 2 tricks. At other tables in the room, whether they bid the slam or not, irrelevant. Almost everybody else made 6. I had this great side suit in dummy. I had like a solid diamond suit. So as soon as partner draws trumps, the spades get pitched, right? So we were like plus 450 and we got a bad board because all these other people are plus 480. And I was like, no, we had too informative of an auction. Everybody else in the room was afraid to lead a spade away from their king against game or slam. Our opponents didn't think twice because I gave them too much information in the auction. And I told partner later, I said, you know what? I said, I could have been reckless. I could have just shot. I said, I could have not even bothered cue bidding. Because I was sure if we didn't get a spade lead, we were going to take 12 tricks. I thought maybe I should have just put 6 hearts on the table and let them figure out what to lead. Because if they don't lead a spade, it goes away. I do have a game today, so I do want to spend a few minutes just talking about what we want to do next before I have to exit here to the other room. So the plan at this stage is not to do anything in March, not just so that we can all have a break, but our video coordinator will not be around for a couple of weeks. So we can restart something as soon as April. There is, I think, 1 week in April where I may have to be gone, third week of April. And then, of course, at the end of May, the week leading up to Memorial Day, we have the regional here. I don't know how many of you are going to play in the regional, but the clubs will be closed. And so generally we don't do anything while the Denver regional is going on. So we do not, we've done this time and last time we've done an 8-week term, and we don't have to do 8 weeks. We can do a shorter term. We theoretically could do like 3 weeks in April and 3 weeks in May if you wanted to do like a 6-week term, and then of course the class fee would just be prorated accordingly. And then there's the matter of content. So
I think we'd like to follow the Ollie term schedule as closely as possible, because people have kind of visualized what their Ollie schedule would look like if this is on Thursday mornings. The Ollie class on Thursday afternoon is still available and good potential.
And so would that be since DU uses a
trimester?
yeah.
And it starts like.
It starts
the 1st of
April 1.
1st of April.
It does it? Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
So,
All right. Yeah. So but
That'd be great.
but they're certainly starting then is fine.
Good.
So it's just it would just be a question of the interruptions and whether will we still do 8 weeks and take a week off here and a week off there and spill into June or just have it be a slightly shorter term.
But it would still be a Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Thursday.
Yeah, as far as I know, our day and time is fine. I will confirm with Paul, but to my knowledge, she has nothing else.
I personally, we haven't even talked about this, but I personally would like to hear what you have to say for 8 weeks. So if that goes a little, a week or two into June, that's okay with me.
It's okay with me.
And I think we
It's
have
not
a
good for
lot
me.
to cover. Oh,
I'm gonna miss.
No, because
Early
I'm
May.
going to China on the Ali trip.
how long?
Well, it's gonna be a couple of weeks. It'll be enough that I'll miss.
Yeah, and a lot of people miss a
I'm
couple of
leaving-
weeks and look
I'm
at the
leaving-
videos.
Yes.
I'm leaving May
Videos, the
24th.
videos. Well, we're not gonna play that week anyway, that's regional week.
Wow.
The last week in May is regionals week, so that's not, we're not
Yeah, I
going
was
to.
just looking at actually let me get the calendar up on
Well, anyway, we should talk about it and figure out who's gonna be gone and who's gonna be here and whether they'd be willing to watch videos to make up for the time missed and so on like that.
Yeah, but what about content?
Let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk about content.
yeah. So
You're teaching a course in March, right?
So Joanne has indicated, and I think the only other person that I heard from on this subject was Nancy. So I have a class starting Wednesday at Denver Metro is the Language of Bridge, which is based on the Woolsey book, which you and I don't know a few of you have the book. And Joanne asked about it a long time ago, and I said I've never taught that. This is a little different. I've never taught this class before, and philosophically, it's a different approach from anything that I've done before. And so I said I kind of wanted to see how things were going to pan out as I worked on the course curriculum, and then I'm actually starting the course Wednesday, and I figured that I probably wouldn't need to wait until the end of the class. I think probably after I teach this Wednesday, or certainly a couple weeks in, I'll have a pretty good feel for it, and I will be able to get some feedback from the people who have signed up for it. As I have been working on the content, I feel really good about it. So I just wanted to try and get to that point before I committed to doing this again. When I haven't, I don't want to commit to a second. It's like signing up for 2 marathons when you haven't ever run your first kind of thing. It's like, why don't we see how the first one goes? That's kind of where I am with this. That said, as I've been working on the curriculum for it, I like where it's going. And it is very different because it's not going to be memorization. It's not going to be, okay, Juno is Lebensall and Cubit is stopper showing and label all the stuff we did before. Not going to be like that at all. It's more of a thought process. And it's actually probably resembles more the kind of thing that we did today, even though it's on bidding, not on play of the hand. But it's more along the lines of, remember, like I just asked you about this opening lead here. What cards do you think are in that hand? The lead of the Jack of Diamonds. Inferences. What cards do you think are in that hand? What cards are not in that hand? Ace of Clubs, probably not. King of Diamonds, probably not. Inferences and things like that. So it's going to be more along that line, more along the line of piecing together information and making deductions through an auction. Only it's going to be more about visualizing your partner's hand by bids that partner made or bids that partner could have made but failed to make, and putting all of those clues together. And by the way, the Denver Regional starts on Tuesday the 21st.
Right.
So the 21st through the 27th is the tournament. So as far as Thursdays in May, the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and then the 30th after the regional is over would all be available dates.
And which week of April will you be gone?
I think it's the third week. And that's not a certainty. I might still be able to teach that morning. Would be the 18th.
Okay.
So.
So are you dangling the language of bridge in front
Am
of
I
us?
dangling it?
Is that what this is about?
I'll put it this way: if there is, it sounds to me in this group like there's a fair amount of interest in it. If there is, I'm pretty sure we can do that. So.
Would that be for all 8 weeks? Or just
No, this is a 4-week class.
Oh, it would be 4 weeks. and then do something
So so it wouldn't comprise the entirety of our term. So.
else. And who's the author?
So
of that
most of
book?
April, we could do that, so that the people who are gonna be gone later wouldn't miss the Woolsey part at least. And then we could decide what to do the last 4 weeks, or 3 weeks, or however many
Yeah.
weeks we extend it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really fine. You know,
That would be ideal.
I mean, I'm, like I said, I'm fine with any term length really.
Okay. We'll
6
talk
weeks, 7 weeks,
I'm gonna miss
8
the
weeks.
first
You
2
know,
weeks in May.
so I mean, yeah.
Who's the author of the book again to order it?
Woolsey.
Kit Woolsey, yes.
Kent, W-O-O-L?
Kit,
send an email.
K-I-T.
Oh, okay.
I did. I don't think I brought the book with me today. Available on Amazon and Bridge Winners. You can order it
Yeah,
from either
I'll
place,
send
so.
everybody an email
Okay.
with the.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a
This-
4-week
Fourth,
class.
fifth time's the charm.
Yes.
I'd like the possibility of doing sample hands, because on some of the early classes on this 8-week series, we tried doing sample hands and moving cards around, and what do we do, and then how do we follow up? It wasn't just the first or second response, it was later in the bidding, and our group did not do well in figuring out what we needed to do. So at that point, at least, there were 6 of us who didn't understand some of the early stuff that you did.
So each table could have the same sample hand, and you bid it, and then you explain it on the board.
Yeah, that's.
And we don't know what convention.
Yeah,
Bid in those
that's. I mean, that's very easy, especially since the dealing machine
So, yeah. So
lives.
all three
at-
tables
at
are
my
playing
place,
the
so.
same board.
Oh yeah, that's very easy.
And then we discuss
Yeah,
after.
yeah, and that can be, and that can be done either, it can really be done however you want to do it. I mean, if it's we want, we want this group of conventions to be to come in, on the hand. I mean, we can do one or two. But then, sometimes the only, and I do that, but as the only concern there sometimes is not that it wouldn't still be beneficial, you'd still be, but if I tell you, okay, every hand in this group today, is going to be Jacoby transfers. Well, then you get to the point where you're kind of on autopilot, and you're like, well, I'm making a Jacoby transfer because I know that's what we're doing today, right? Or
No, we want you to
or I know I'm making a takeout double. So I like the idea of mixing it up and having a few things involved, so that I'm not leading the witness, if you will.
We want you to trick us.
I want you want me to
It'll
trick
be
you?
That will be easy.
Oh, that'll be easy.
It'll be so easy.
You know, another thing we've talked about is leads, some help on
yeah.
leads.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing is tolerance for partners. We've got a couple of.
Yeah,
we've
I'm
got a
actually
couple of things to talk-
I'm actually going to do that at the regional.
Oh, yeah, that's.
As my
good.
that's going to be a shorter lecture.
What
That's
day?
only like a 30 or 40-minute lecture or something
What
like
day
that.
is that?
I'm doing it Saturday at the regional. That's when they scheduled me. So.
But leads would be good, because we're always,
And signals. I mean,
leads and signals.
defense.
Yeah, and those are usually leads and signals are usually when I did not do my defense class. I have a 4-week defense class that I did not do last year, but I think I will do that. I'm probably going to be doing that hopefully this summer at Denver Metro when things open up for me a little bit and I can do classes during the day rather than at night over there. But that has to wait until Norma goes on her summer break. So.